we're going to watch some stuff today. A lot of this stuff comes from the React channel of Discord. Please, if you haven't already, throw some stuff in there. I'd love to take your suggestions and use it so we can watch it together. Yeah. Let's watch a video about Zombie House Flipper. The show that from the Crime Time video we watched from JCS about the guy who killed his wife because she didn't want to be on it. Such a cool reason to do such a thing. If you're confused by what the fuck we're talking about, I'm sure Andy King's going to do a great job.
Let me cut to the chase.
Explaining
I have
this.
a live show coming up in January. And
oh my goodness. Go watch that. We'll go to his live show or something.
And energy into a personal project, and then when they finally show it to the...
Why didn't he just go on it without her? Because it was about flipping their house that they were in. To my knowledge. Maybe he talks about it. Maybe he talks about it. We'll see.
And their friends, people tell them to not quit their day job. That's how you get reality TV. Because in reality, it feels like most of the shows we've been given throughout reality TV history are just people's day jobs. The shows we.
Does anybody remember the clip of her falling off of the parking garage or whatever? South Beach Telling's fucking crazy, dude. There's that clip of me and Hannah watching clips of this show, and her, I think her name's Bernice, right? She falls like off a building. The only thing the guy says with her is like, Bernice! It's a super old clip of mine. It's from years and years ago. But yeah, it's a funny show. It's a crazy show.
Reality TV history are just people's day jobs documented by a camera crew. It's the beauty of the mundane, folks. We as human beings crave mediocrity. For what is a drunk man without his McDonald's 2-cheeseburger meal? I'd like to talk today about Zombie House Flipping, an A&E show that started back in 2016 that's actually still running today. It follows 4 of the lamest, most uncharismatic individuals you've ever seen across Orlando, Florida, as they flip abandoned houses in an attempt to turn a profit. Okay, to me it sounds like every other house renovation show on HGTV. Okay, what's the difference? Oh, what's that? It's terrible. Of course it is. Guys, there's a reason that so many reality shows take place in the Deep South, okay? I would know. I'm from there. And you're not allowed to go. But just like my childhood toys that were swept away and annihilated in the murky waters of Hurricane Katrina, we too must drown ourselves in the disastrous content of zombie house flipping.
They were once beautiful homes. Now they're abandoned and rotting, contaminating neighborhoods, and they're a buyer's worst nightmare.
That's where we come in.
Oh, yes, save me. You're the people for the job. I know it. I was going to say that they look like a multiversal variant of the Mythbusters, and they do, just from a universe where they got busted for sex crimes. This guy, Justin, has put together a star team consisting of Ashley, a realtor, Keith, a builder, and Duke, a designer. They also took this dog Marley around with them, who really does nothing other than sit smack in the middle of every shot, so she's kind of just something to look at whenever you don't care about what's going on in the show, which happens a lot
most of the time,
so you can't really complain. Marley.
Let's go, dog. Yes.
The neighborhood looks so far really nice.
Today we're checking out a house in the Wadeview area. A friend of mine from the bank told me about this house. It's been sitting empty for a while and it's just been placed on the market.
All right, that accent. Difficult to listen to. What is that, Irish? Shout out Wadeview though, yeah? Really gotta shout out my viewers from Wadeview. Sound off in the comments.
That was not me, bro. That was him. He put that in the video. That's crazy. He literally went...
Don't be mean to me.
Awesome.
The only thing that makes this show watchable is the dialogue, because every single thing
that was not me. That's him. Look, listen.
Wadeview, sound off in the comments. What is that, Irish? Shout out Wadeview though, yeah? Really gotta shout out my viewers from Wadeview. Sound off in the comments. Don't be mean to me. The only thing that makes this show watchable is the dialogue, because every single thing that every single person says sounds like they're reading it off of a script for the first time.
This house is an abandoned mess. I mean, the front facade just looks sad. The roof is rotting. The front porch is falling apart. The landscaping is a neglected nightmare, and that's just what we can see from the street. You know what? This is my kind of zombie.
Now, I understand that this place is abandoned, but I'm going to be real. I've seen much worse, at least from an exterior
really doesn't
standpoint.
look that
They're
bad
acting
from the
like this is
front,
where they found
actually.
Bin Laden. And maybe he's still in there, because this place is stinky, stinky. They're really playing it up, too. They're like,
What is it?
Oh, in over 15 years of flipping houses, I've never.
What a creature this man is. What a creature. What a specimen he is. His slicked back hair, bushy beard, and Hawaiian shirt. Fucking Florida man. I muted it by accident.
What's filling up that house?
This show's been 7 years old. This has been happening for 7 years. They just finished the season. It's still going.
Oh.
What is that?
Oh my God, it's putrid.
It's like this overwhelming smell of death.
I don't even think the mask helps.
The dog's like, yay.
These floors are really, really unique.
oh, nice. Yeah, good pacing.
They really did just bring the dogs in.
Look to the left, right there of the petrified diarrhea pile. You can see some really quality oak here. Everything other than the floors, though, they hate. The main area
What the fuck is this wall?
is a super confusing open concept that all revolves around this weird walled-off kitchen area. While
Marley
everyone's in
moment.
agreement on this, it often becomes difficult to
What is this fucking wall?
Some really quality oak here. Everything other than
What is that? What is that, dude? What the fuck is this? Why? The 3 sunroofs? Oh my God, bro. That house got to be hot as shit. When we lived in St. Louis before one of the houses we rented had a skylight like this. It made that room so hot. It was great because it was so vibrant and bright, but it made it so hot when it was really hot during the summer. I cannot imagine being in Florida and having 3 and then white walls so nothing absorbs the sun. On top of whatever's going on here. This is crazy. I mean, this is crazy. Why not just fuck the wall? Why not just get rid of the fucking wall if you're gonna make it basically the whole thing?
The main area is a super confusing open concept.
Just get rid of the
that all
fucking
revolves
wall
around this weird walled-off kitchen.
Look at how much room. Just get rid of the wall. Why is this even here?
Area. While everyone's in agreement on this, it often becomes difficult to figure out who the real leader of the pack is here. We're meant to believe that it's Justin, but just on a good glance, I'm having a little difficulty making that connection.
We almost always gut our kitchens, but this is going to be a pretty big job because we're also completely redesigning the floor plan of the kitchen. I just hope this doesn't end up costing us a fortune.
Yeah, that's how the employee.
I'm an actor. Look at me reading my script.
Employee at the trampoline park talks to you before you go in. You know how some people just have that like undeniable lack of motivation in their voice? Poor guy. I think Duke should be the leader. You know, he's got that charismatic leading man energy. I bet he's an alcoholic.
I originally thought this house smelled funny, but you know what? As we look around, I'm starting to see that it's got good bones, and plus it's in a great neighborhood. You know what? I'm starting to smell money.
Duke!
Good one.
Duke. So does this place suck? Absolutely. But I feel like we established that fact from moment one. It would seem, however, that the team has a collective attention span similar to Marley's.
Yeah, just to reiterate, great point. That man from that JCS video we watched a couple of days ago killed his wife because he wanted to be on this show that bad. He wanted to be on this show so bad that he killed his wife because she did not want to. This one, yes, this show that Andy King is making fun of for very valid reasons right now for this. Yes. Yes. This is the show.
Because every time they enter a new room, they have to tell us how bad it smells.
What the stench, dude? No way.
What the stench?
No.
Was that a dead lizard?
Right? Like, come on, it's a dead squirrel.
Oh, it's a squirrel.
Have you seen the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan? Regardless,
Bro, that squirrel smell is not that bad. It's not great though. I mean, I could do without it. It's not. We had squirrels die in our attic growing up, dude. It's stinky. It ain't. Oh my god. Hot dog. No.
after a highly scripted disagreement outside, they decide to put down an offer on the property for
Stinky house projected
$180,000
budget
with a projected renovation cost of $70,000. And hopefully, they're going to be able to sell this thing for $320,000. We're also going with the name Stinky House, which feels a little bit out of left field, but I'll roll with it. Similar to Bar Rescue, we're given a blueprint
Stinky
breakdown
house.
of what this thing is eventually supposed to look like. Once you
His
watch enough home
posture?
renovating,
Wait,
it goes a fourth
I didn't see it.
right property for 100, a highly scripted disagreement. Have you seen the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan? Regardless, after a
Oh, they have a foot up on the. I think the deck has a. Yeah, it's elevated right there. This is such a weird dynamic because he's standing on it completely. She's standing off of it completely, and he's 1 foot on it, 1 foot off of it. So she doesn't give a shit. He wants to be taller even though he's shorter. And this guy's like, well, I'm not going to let you get away with that, so I'm going to put my foot up on it. And she's like, I don't fucking care what's going on.
highly
That's
scripted
crazy.
disagreement outside, they decide to put down an offer on the property for $180,000 with a projected renovation cost of $70,000. And hopefully, they're going to be able to sell this thing for $320,000. We're also going with the name Stinky House, which feels a little bit out of left field, but I'll roll with it. Similar to Bar Rescue, we're given a blueprint breakdown of what this thing is eventually supposed to look like. Once you watch enough home renovation television, though, you start to realize that all they're really doing is moving shit around.
I was
Television
literally
breakdown-
about to say, so closet, they just rotated this. They just
of what this thing
They
is
actually-
eventually supposed to look like. Once you watch enough
they just rotated
home
it.
renovation,
Wait, they
a
wait.
blueprint breakdown of what this thing is eventually supposed to look like. Once you
They
watch
didn't even move the toilet.
enough home renovation television, though, you start to realize
They moved the closet down, moved the sink to the left, didn't move the toilet,
that
and the
all they're really doing
showers
is moving shit
in the
around.
corner.
I mean, am I wrong?
What about my
Now I
sink? That's what
understand
the
why old
vanity
people
is,
like
I'm
it so
assuming.
much. You know, it combines two of their favorite things: arguing and young people being somewhat helpful.
This front exterior needs a lot of work.
I was gonna
We're
say
start
moving
off by
shit,
painting
that
over
doesn't matter,
sad
but-
mustard color. Then we'll put in a new front porch, some fresh sod and landscaping.
do like that dark
Finally, we're
brown.
gonna finish it off with a new concrete driveway.
We absolutely cannot
Jesus
afford to put in a driveway.
Christ.
Look, man, if we're to get top dollar in this neighborhood, we
Put
have to do
on
it.
something less scary.
Where's the money gonna come from?
Maybe a hat. Oh my God.
One thing they don't tell you about
Sure
these
was
shows,
so
however much it may
loud.
be implied, is the fact that these guys aren't really doing much of the work. I know it's rather obvious,
Doubtful.
but I feel like it's a concept in reality home renovation TV that isn't
do a
really
single fucking
talked about a
thing.
lot, and it only becomes off-putting when dealing with a group of people like this. Like, yeah, we know the Property Brothers are calling it a little backup, but the connotation of backup becomes a little different when the call's coming from Justin. Oh, I think it's the Property Brothers again. Let's go. Come on. Hello?
This isn't just a zombie. This is a monster zombie.
Oh, come on, man. Who was it? Don't worry about it. It was no one. Go back to bed. The one time we see them actually putting in a group effort is day one, probably because day one is gutting day and people love to break shit. Kind of makes me glad that they're not doing too much of the hands-on work, though, because clearly these guys have no regard for each other's safety. Remember how Keith was absolutely in love with that hardwood floor? Yeah, well, here he is crashing an entire wall into it like he's using a bolt pole. I'm not typically the guy to be like,
wait, that was fucking rad. Also, fuck yeah. I'm glad they got rid of that wall. That made no sense to me either.
Like, oh, hey, that looks a little bit dangerous. But if you look a little closer, you can literally see a whole bundle of live wires being torn out of the floor. Look, it literally shuts off the front light. Can any electricians out there, like real electricians, let me know if this makes the job harder for the actual workers? Because something tells me this place was not ready to be gutted. The only part of the house we haven't seen yet.
First of all, why? Okay, so my first thought, because that wall seemed really stupid to me too. I was like, why would they keep that wall there? My first thought was,
hello, Sneegman and freaks.
There's definitely wiring in there that they didn't know how to get rid of, so they just said, fuck it, keep the wall there. Clearly, they didn't fucking think of that. Why not turn the power off? Did they not cut the electricity? There's literally a whole... Could they not have just cut the electricity off in that area? That's crazy.
Yet is the pool.
That's the first
Mainly
fucking
because
thing.
it's not a huge issue. It just needs to be drained and updated. But...
And while the pool's empty, if it stays empty too long, the ground pressure could make it pop out of the ground. It happens a lot in Florida, and it can be a nightmare.
We just got a text from Keith saying...
What the fuck?
It happens a lot in Florida, and it can be a nightmare.
We just got a text from Keith saying to get over to Stink House ASAP. Man, I really hope that pool didn't pop last night.
It doesn't.
You think after 7 seasons they could get him acting lessons? That's actually insane. That's actually an insanely terrible read. Nobody was like, maybe we should try that again. Like, you're not literally reading like you're in a 2nd grade play, but
Pop, by the way.
It looks like the pool didn't pop.
They wasted our time. No, actually, something
it
much
literally
funnier
didn't
happens
pop?
the next morning when the team returns to find Keith in the pool.
So we get to the house, and lo and behold, Keith is in the pool, hammering away.
Dude, what happened to the pool?
This cannot be good.
Where did the side of the pool go? Okay, so
this
we got a little
cannot be
problem here,
good.
guys.
Yeah, we got a bit of a problem here, guys. Someone put this hammer here. Oh, I love this show, man. I love it. Dude's just hacking away at the lining of the pool alone with nothing but a hammer, and he didn't tell anyone. The problem they're having here is a process called delamination, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Water has been seeping into the lining of the pool, which is causing it to corrode and crumble.
yes.
I'm really glad that the pool didn't pop, but the lining crumbling away isn't good either. From the moment we uncovered this pool, I had a feeling it would affect our budget. Now it's
I'm gonna jam a nail in my ear, bro. I can't stand this guy. Wow. People watch this shit and they're like, I had a feeling it would affect our budget. just say it like you're talking to somebody. Just say it like it's a conversation.
It's obvious that this pool is going to be an expensive fix.
We got to recoat the entire pool. It's going to be expensive.
How much?
$6 grand.
We do not have that lined up in our budget for a pool.
We do not have that.
We gotta sell the dog. This is pretty much how they deal with every single issue they run into on the show. It's never in the budget, ever. It's so annoying.
Yet
Justin's
it's in the budget.
whole thing
Yet
is
they always
being
do
worried
it.
about money, but then he'll get on camera alone and tell us some shit like,
It's a labor-intensive job, so we even tripled our crew.
and speaking of the crew, we've established that the show
Which
is very open about
costs
hiring
money?
professionals to do the actual work. But one thing I cannot stand is when they show a montage of a bunch of dudes working their asses off and then cut to the next scene like this.
Hey, Duke, we're fresh out of plywood. We gotta get some more to finish the upstairs. We're gonna run for some.
999! 1,000!
Right. Yeah.
See, I can do it too. Also, Duke just in the fucking floor knocking on shit.
Yeah, what the hell is he doing,
the problem
bruh?
is that all of these guys seem like they're playing a character. Like, even down to their clothing. It's like
True.
someone else dressed them. Like, I can't explain it.
Well, they
Anyway, half of the
probably
floor of this
did.
kitchen is fully concrete under the boards, meaning that half of the kitchen can't even have pipes running through it. They
That's
end up coming to the
crazy.
conclusion that they have to dig a trench through the concrete. But what do you think the issue is going to be here, folks?
Cutting a trench in concrete is a huge hassle. It's super labor intensive.
That's
so that
gonna
means it's gonna
cost
be
us
super
money.
expensive. And this is just one more expense that we weren't anticipating on an already tight budget.
Perhaps this wouldn't have been such an issue if Justin hadn't tripled yesterday's pool team that they couldn't afford. Well, instead of totally saying screw it and going over budget, this time Duke decides that in order to cut costs, he's just gonna do part of it himself.
I know Justin and Keith are worried about the cost of trenching this floor.
So cool.
But this is one of those things I can do myself and save some money.
Are you
Honestly,
sure?
for me, it was really fun.
This right here is just more proof that Duke should be the leader. Here he is,
That'd be
talking
fucking
his shit,
sick.
applying
First of all, that would be fucking fun as hell. I would love to cut through some concrete with a circular saw. That would be nuts.
his skills
The
and saving money.
testosterone would be crazy. Look at that shit.
Hey, did you know that the average card holder leaves $300 in unclaimed rewards each year? No, it's okay. I don't blame you. I don't blame you because I haven't even told you about Kudos, the sponsor.
All right, cool. Most replayed. Oof.
The longer
Fair.
this episode goes on, the
Get
more
your
you
money, King,
realize
but-
that every single scene is just going to be the same goddamn formula. Let me show you what I'm
That is literally every show from HGTV ever, though. It's like literally they have concept plus reality, concept plus name for thing, zombie house flipper, Property Brothers, like Love or List, like literally the title is just The Hook, and the whole time they just talk about The Hook. They're like, oh, I don't know, guys, it's supposed to be cheap renovations and this is going to be an expensive one. Oh, wow.
talking about.
Hey!
Hey, Chief. Hey, it looks good, man. Nice wall.
Yeah.
Did they shirt swap?
okay.
Did they shirt swap? How come he's got the fucking loud ass red shirt on? Justin's got a fucking gaudy ass Hawaiian shirt again.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, no.
Yeah, whoever previously worked on the house cut out this one section of the floor to replace it with plywood for whatever reason, so they need to replace the boards, obviously. If we've learned anything about this show yet, though, we've learned that anything and everything can and will be the worst case scenario.
It's a pain in the butt, but we'll cut it out. We'll get some new oak flooring. We'll stitch it in. You can buy this stuff at the flooring store. We're going to sand it all, stain it all.
Oh
so
no, that's
it'll
gonna
fine.
be
match
that's
this?
Hey,
gonna
now, guys, that's the bad news. all
That's
right? I
gonna
was
go
looking
over
at the floor.
budget.
Normal hardwood's like 2 1/4.
Yeah, yeah.
This is 1 1/4. That's not something we can buy at any old hardwood floor store.
Marley, just fucking kill me, bite my throat out. The formula still holds up though, because this secondary issue has now launched them into an argument. Sidebar comment. Remember how I was saying that you can tell that someone else dressed everyone in the cast? I still can't explain it.
Dude,
but
is he
I
gonna
think I
point
might
out the
be right,
shirt?
okay, I think someone in the costume department might have messed up because here Duke is wearing the exact same outfit that we saw Keith wearing the day before. Who wore it better, leave in the comments. So what are we doing about these boards, guys? Because from what I'm hearing, the only way they're going to get their hands on these things is if they literally appear out of thin air.
What are the odds, right?
I called every place I know. I even called some places in Georgia.
We couldn't find it anywhere.
Nowhere. I don't know, man. We could move the wall over.
No, we're not changing the kitchen. hang on. I was cleaning out the garage, and there's some scrap wood down here. Wait a sec.
Scrap wood?
I don't know if there's enough of this stuff, but this is it, right?
It's actually offensive how lazy that is. Like, that
Are
actually
you
makes me
fucking
feel like the
joking?
creators of the show think that their audience is full of idiots. Duke
Are
goes
you
on to
fucking serious? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the wood in advance because we already know it's a fuck up, right? But then we're gonna make it seem like we don't have any wood, and we're gonna be calling a million places to try to find it. Okay, and then we'll just have the wood around the corner of the room, and Duke will just have an epiphany out of nowhere.
I actually remember seeing some wood. Some wood in this very room's closet. I wonder if it's the wood in question.
yet another scheme behind the team's back. Remember that driveway argument from the beginning?
Goodness.
We absolutely cannot afford to put in a driveway.
To avoid the issue altogether, Duke hires a team to speed run the driveway build before Keith even has the chance to show up. It's situations like this that make me question why these people are even a team in the first place. I mean, this is a detrimental lack of communication. A quirky mishap would be going with the eggshell paint shade instead of the off-white. Not, oops, I paved an entire driveway. Luckily, Keith does show up in time, but for some reason, the show thought it would be a really entertaining idea to throw in a little vehicular manslaughter tease.
So when are they coming? Later today?
Pour in like 2 more days.
What a crazy driver.
Dude, what's up with your driving, man? Keith's always been a crazy driver, but this time he almost ran over Ashley and me. I don't know what the hell he's thinking, but that's just not cool.
Not cool indeed, Duke. Ow, fuck.
I don't think we should have a dirt driveway either, but
what the hell?
You guys need to talk to me if we're gonna spend $10,000.
What is he wearing? Are they not in Florida? Are they not in Florida?
On a concrete driveway.
Where'd you even get the number $10,000?
It's about half of that. Your budget is out of whack.
Why does he have like a winter coat on? Yeah, the fucking dog's just standing there. It literally is always just standing right in the middle of all of them.
That's the problem.
Wow, they actually just gaslit the fuck out of him. Once again, I ask, whose idea was it to team up? It seems that the only thing they have in common is their collective desire to ruin each other's day. Look, my impression of Justin's character is just as poor as the next guy, but he's right. These people don't communicate. They're clearly trying to use it as a comedic storytelling device to spice up the dynamic, but it doesn't work because what they're doing is objectively annoying. Here is yet another example.
Objectively
Duke and
toxic.
Ashley in this sequence are waiting on Justin and Keith
Is
to
it these?
arrive
It's always
with the
these two,
foliage
isn't it?
for the backyard. Immediately they fucked up. This episode has drawn a clear dividing line between these two pairings, so like I said, it just feels like a tease. Lo and behold, here come Justin and Keith with some of the most depressing looking greenery to ever touch American soil. So I have to know, what's the angle here, gentlemen?
We knew full well that Duke would hate these plants, but we brought him to prove a point.
And there you go. Other than this being an insane fuck you, it once again proves to me that Justin is not fit to be the leader of this team specifically. We're talking about a show
So
where
we
they're
spent a bunch
taking
of our
what
money
they
to just
believe
be annoyed.
horrendous homes and renovating
annoying.
them in an attempt to sell them. A project manager is responsible for leading and overseeing all aspects of a project, ensuring it is completed on time, within budget, and according to the defined scope by planning, organizing, executing, monitoring, and controlling all project activities, while managing the project team and communicating with stakeholders to achieve successful project outcomes. Justin seems to only be focused on saving money and getting the job done, which, yes, is his job, but it feels like he's not considering the things that are actually going to make this house appealing to the general public. A pool is a major selling point for a house, you know? Like, why wouldn't you want to make that area look as nice as possible? I don't know. Why am I trying to rationalize reality TV?
Justin gave us $500 for the landscaping budget at this house, and that just wasn't going to cut it. Ashley and I tried to devise a plan to keep the costs in check, But in the end, we still tripled his budget. Now I'm just waiting.
None of this really matters, right? Obviously, they're just going to keep doing the same shit over and over and over again.
Over
Find
budget.
loopholes, cut corners. Oh, we're over budget. Let's just raise the price of the house. Who fucking cares?
Hopefully we'll find a buyer who doesn't mind shelling out the big bucks for this house.
As dysfunctional as this team is, though, I do think they put together a nice looking house here. The only thing I'm still firm against is the backyard foliage. I think it's looking mighty barren at the moment. Regardless, they end up profiting $100,000, which makes all of that complaining and fighting and lying feel completely useless. I've done it to myself again. However, there's more to this show than meets the eye, folks, so please,
oh boy,
follow me. Okay, I'm here now. Guys, I got a little bit of spooky-ooky lighting for you. Why are we getting spooky? I don't know. There seems to be this weird correlation between people who have had a brief stint on reality TV and being involved with criminal activity. I actually don't know much about this case, so I wanted to sit down and just do some live research on it right now. I think that'll be fun. The cast member in question here is actually Keith. He wasn't involved in this murder that happened, as we'll talk about in a second.
Oh, never mind.
But he did a full testimony on it. Okay, when I tell you how this is all connected, though, you can't laugh. Okay, you can't laugh because it's really sad. Man convicted of killing wife who said no to zombie house flipping. Yeah. He killed his wife because she didn't want to go on zombie house flipping. Prosecutors say he.
And if you didn't watch that, we did a video on that as well. It's the JCS's most recent video. It's up. So if you're watching this and didn't watch that, you should watch that after you finish watching this.
He and his wife had been having marital problems at the time.
Or watch that first, because this is going to spoil that. Or that's not really first spoil. Whatever. Spoilers aren't really the point of those videos, so it's fine.
Particularly due to money and issues with the.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to give me videos in the React channel of Discord. Subscribe on Twitch.
Fixer-upper home they had bought together. Jury members were told he spent thousands of dollars renovating the home with hopes of appearing on the Orlando-based reality show Zombie House Flipping, but his wife refused to go on. This upset him to the point that it led to her murder. As Keith details, he had taken multiple trips to the house to meet the couple prior to the murder. He mentions that the layout of the house being renovated was in like a really bizarre condition, like nothing he had ever seen before.
But when I walked inside, it was something I hadn't seen before. I don't think very many people get to see. In Mr. Tronus's house, the studs had been removed. There were no interior dividing walls. Basically, the house was a two-story shoebox. The alarming part was that not just that the interior dividing walls and supports were removed, but the exterior framing on the house was largely destroyed by wood-destroying organisms. So
he then details a second instance when he visited them where it was very clear that the wife was not.
Their house was decaying from the outside because of termites? They didn't talk about any of that. That's insane. JCS mentioned none of it. He tore out the studs? For why? Did he literally just fuck up his house to be like, hey guys. Hey guys, it's gonna be a TV. Dude, if I can't even, I'm not shocked his wife said no. If she figured out that he did it, the house was decaying just so he could get on TV, I'd be fucking pissed. That's insane.
Not happy to be there. Her name was Shanti.
I arrived at the house to meet Dave and Shanti. Dave was by the pool and Shanti was not there. And I said, we really need Shanti to come down. And she had come down and she was, by my estimation, unhappy to be there.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like the dude tried to like pretend that she fell in the bathtub and he called 911 himself. What a coward. Well, damn, that's really sad. I know that was a short little segment, but why don't we get happy again and a little bit annoyed and get back to the video. Folks, I don't want to keep you too long, but I can't.
Once again, if you want to see more about that particular case, we did a react on JCS's video for it. So it'll probably be somewhere. Ooh. All right.
Can't let you
Or
leave
just
here
watch the
today
video itself. You don't have
without
to watch
showing
me
you a bit
watching
more.
it.
In fact, I want to take a quick look at the episode directly before the one we just watched, Season 1, Episode 6. Now, I actually find this episode to be pretty entertaining, mainly because of the ridiculous amounts of staging that they do throughout the process.
Oh my God.
What the hell happened here? Dude. I thought you said they cleaned everything out.
God.
Oh, yeah, no thanks. No, I'm already stupid. But how stupid do you think I am, A&E Television? Jaeger bombs and neon silly string at the same function? Fuck, dude, that makes me think of partying.
What are studs in a house? It's basically the horizontal beams of... Is it the horizontal or vertical? Is it vertical? Vertical beams that make up the structure of the wall. So basically like the main support of the wall. So essentially that guy said that he took out all of the main beams of his walls. Like he took his house's legs off. Which is crazy. Which is crazy.
Oh. They want us to believe that a bunch of rowdy kids broke in and threw a party, and the reason I know that didn't happen is because of this disco ball.
Yeah, what the
high fucking
fuck
ceiling,
is
and
that?
normally you'd think, how did they get it up there? But as someone who was a teenager at the time that this episode was produced, all I'm thinking is, who actually felt like doing that?
Those kids who partied here might have thought they had a good bash, but for me, nothing's better than demoing a zombie.
You went nuts, man. You're like a Tasmanian devil in here or something. Keith thinks it's fun to do some demo on his own, but I think it's fun to do some demo on Keith.
Keith and I love
Fucking just it fucking kills him.
I think it's fun to do some demo on Keith.
Also, there's that fucking red shirt again, bruh.
Keith and I love messing around when we get the chance. Our favorite game is kill each other. The big gimmick of the episode actually has very little to do with the renovation, which once again is incredibly annoying. I mean, who the fuck do you guys think you are? Marley starts tweaking out and barking at the door to the backyard, which Justin lets us know she only does when she senses a threat.
What is she getting so spooked about?
Oh. I don't know. It looked like a big tail.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, what is that?
Whoa, what the f? It's a gator, dude.
That is like a...
What the hell?
I think the only thing
It's
that
not
adds a
even a big
layer of
gator.
reality to this is the fact that they're in Orlando, where this actually has happened to people. But come on,
lot.
guys, come on. We know you had the Wrangler off camera the whole time, all right? You can't fool anyone. But that's not even the most ridiculous part. Later in the episode,
Well,
we're meant to believe that the same gator made its way back weeks later.
Oh
It's
my
just more and more
God,
proof
bro.
that in many of these episodes, there's not enough organic substance to carry us through a full 40 minutes. All reality shows stage things, you know? But in this show, at points, it feels like it goes beyond that. It's like they're jangling keys in front of our face. When you take a step back and look at the show as a whole, it really just makes you giggle, man. It's even funnier when you realize that it's still running. You can't be surprised, though. Like I said, old people, they eat this shit up. This kind of show isn't going anywhere. But guess who
the
is going
gator's
somewhere?
back.
Me. Because the video's over. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe,
I
and let me know
did.
what
Very
you want to see
cool.
next time. Actually,
Whoa. Did you guys just see the subscribe button illuminate when he said subscribe?
Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next time.
It's been doing that? This is the first YouTube shit. I don't watch YouTube shit most of the time. I'm busy streaming. So, wow, that's crazy. Well, this was a great video. This is a great circle of the JCS video we watched 2 days ago.